neo-Nazi came and killed a black security guard that day. He wanted to go out killing as many Jews as possible in his last days. So I felt that day, we felt that day, that we're talking about Ken Frank and Emmett Till. These are the two polar examples of what has taken place in the history, certainly in Europe, and what's taken place for the 4th century in this country. So that's, again, big lie has been taken here. But there are several things that have to take place. I'd have a top-down and bottom-up approach. Top-down, every major corporation should suspend any contribution to any politician who's refused to see insurrection or sees it as an acceptable form of political activity. Secondly, the corporations ought to pull their advertising from any platform, mainstream or social media, that promotes hate. And the third, from the bottom up, is the citizens who look at these companies and see them placing advertising on these platforms. They ought to say, we're boycotting your product. It worked during the Montgomery bus boycott. It can work now. Finally, at the lower citizen level, grassroots say, we're not going to support any companies who are sponsoring these kinds of messages going out, either mainstream media or on social media. This has to stop. We have to start at the top and the bottom to make it stop.
Given the fact, Mr. Secretary, that President Trump actually incited this violent and deadly insurrection, should he be banned from holding office in the future?
I think he should be. I think if they can't do it through the impeachment process, I think that we should do everything in our power to show what he has done to this country, not only domestically. Imagine, we have an armed camp around the city of Washington. You've got 50 capitals now under potential siege. And so now we have a situation with this president. And by the way, I don't know that he should enjoy the privileges that go with a former president. And perhaps some of that should go to the people who have died on Capitol Hill as a result of what's happened. No, I think what we need to do is to make sure that he is shamed, if that's possible, or the people who have supported him are shamed to say, we support this kind of insurrection as an acceptable form of political dissent in this country. Everybody who says that should be ashamed of themselves, and we should try to shame them, because this is not a democracy they're looking for. They're looking for a white society. They want white supremacy, meaning white racism. And as far as the populations are concerned, if you're Jewish, if you're Muslim, if you're Hispanic, if you're Asian, you're not white. And therefore, they look down upon people who are not, quote, white, as being not entitled to privileges of white society, but are seen as being inferior to the other. And I was reading Albert Einstein, who said that when he came to this country to escape Hitler, he said, I am embarrassed, I am ashamed. And he said that racism is a fake disease, and I intend to speak out against it. And so he joined with another great, star, and joined in an effort, Paul Robeson, in an effort to pass anti-lynching legislation. Think about this. Back in the 30s and the 40s, they were trying to pass anti-lynching legislation all of that time. So this is not going away, and if good people, white people, don't speak out against what is taking place, then we're just a few steps away from going into what it is.
Mr. Secretary, you were the Secretary of Defense. You used to get highly classified briefings. As you know, Trump lost. On Wednesday, he'll become a private citizen. But the tradition is former presidents continue to get highly classified intelligence briefings. Congressman Adam Schiff of California, the chairman of the House Intelligence Committee, says this. I want you to listen to what he said today.
There's no circumstance in which this president should get another intelligence briefing. Not now, not in the future. I don't think he can be trusted with it now, and in the future he certainly can't be trusted. Indeed, there were, I think, any number of intelligence partners of ours around the world who probably started withholding information from us because they didn't trust the president would safeguard that information and protect their sources and methods. And that makes us less safe.
48% of Americans have nothing invested in the stock market, and 57% don't have the money to cover a surprise $500 emergency expense.
You agree that President Trump, once he's a private citizen, should no longer receive these highly classified intelligence briefings?
Absolutely. President Trump has never measured up to the responsibilities of that high office that he holds, and he shouldn't be treated as a former president with any more leeway or even trust that he could carry out his obligations as a former president of the United States. So no, I don't think he'd be entitled to it. I think what we see as far as his relationship with Russia in the past, here we have, I think, the person who's cheering most is Vladimir Putin. I think they're opening up every bottle of vodka they have in Russia in terms of what has happened to the United States, what he, President Putin, has helped happen in this country in terms of undermining our own sense of self-confidence, undermining our intelligence community, undermining our judiciary, undermining the AG's office, undermining and trying to politicize the State Department and the military. I don't think that we want former President Trump to be in the possession of highly classified information because he can't be trusted with it.
Secretary Cohen, thank you so much for joining us, and we'll continue this conversation down the road.
Thank you.
Like that, I bet you do. Like that quiet scratchiness. It's quite fun, isn't it? Noise it makes. Not sure whether you're getting an ASMR orgasm or not. Maybe this pen will do it. What a music snippet. Dun, 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 dun. Very different noise this one makes. Big moppy. You like my artwork? Add to shopping cart $1 million. Need to add a few more fine lines to finish it. Oh, I don't know if this is finishing it or not. I think it knows. This sort of reminds me of the Schaefer plastic. It is called Screaming Souls, or Souls in Purgatory, or whatever people call it. Little
skulls. They're not skulls, but they sort of have that look. What are your thoughts? Try something here if I can. I am going to have to figure out a new way to do this, though. Why can't I just move everything out of the way in order to turn the fucking thing off? Drives me crazy. End stream. End.